What's wrong?
Um,
Here we go. We are now live. 2 minutes before we kick off. Well, 1.5 minutes before we kick off.
hi.
People are starting to come into the room. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think an email went out inviting everyone. So here we go. They're all coming in the room. Hello, hello, hello. How are you all doing today? For those of you who just arrived, can you do me a favor, please? Can you just type the word yes or the letter Y into the chat so we know you can hear us and see us? That would be super cool if you could do that. So type the letter Y or the word yes into the chat, and we will be starting in about 30 seconds. Hi, Daniel. Thanks for the yes. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Everyone's coming in now. Yes, yes, hellos. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? How are you all doing?
Darn it.
I don't know what Mitch is doing. He's doing something.
I was the best laid plans of mice and men. You know how that goes?
Being too smart for your own good.
Yes. I was preparing all of the questions that we had.
Yeah.
To be able to appear here, but I've lost where I put them. It's kind of embarrassing.
No worries. Okay, everyone, let's kick off today. So today, I wasn't here last week. What was I doing last week? I can't remember. I can't remember what I was doing last week, but it was really, really important. Everything I do is really, 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 really important.
Yes, I know.
Well, in my world, I like to think so. Anyway, so I believe it was a good show last week. So thank you very much, Mitch, for doing a great show and keeping to the hour. I noticed keeping to the hour. So well done on that. That is a major milestone.
That was a miracle, man. I was watching that. I was watching that clock, baby.
Cool. Good for you. And today, obviously, is
a
Q&A. It's eighth week. Yeah, it's the eighth show, man. 8th show. That's a big milestone. We'll see whether we have as many people in the room as normal. I'm looking at the clock right now, and it's not as many as normal, but I don't think there's been enough promotion about it, but we'll see. Anyway, so 8th week, it's as usual, every 4 weeks we do a Q&A. So thanks very much for your questions. We've got a big list of them, but as usual, we will start off with that list. Mitch has got them in hand, and please feel free to type your questions into the chat as we go through, because I'm sure we will start the ball rolling and they are bound to get your brains ticking over with asking other questions. So feel free to ask any question you want. It's sort of like a review of the last 4 weeks, and also we've got a special guest.
What?
Going to join us.
I thought I was the special guest.
No. That's in your own world, mate.
See, we're both in our own little worlds.
Yeah, well, I know I'm special. It's been proved time and time again, dude.
Yes, but do you have your special glass?
I do have my special glass. No ice, unfortunately. But there you go. So yeah, we have a special guest going to be joining us at some point during the day, during the show. Not exactly sure exactly what time, but he will be joining us. So let's kick on. So Mitch, who's first and what's the question? Let's go for it, Dave.
So I'm starting at the bottom of the list.
I have no idea.
I'm
literally doing this.
Blind, cold,
blind, no harness, high trapeze, haven't got a clue, no safety net, haven't got a clue what the questions are. So let's kick it.
Could be really risky, and I don't have a net either. So
cool.
Collins asks, I've tried to use UpViral, but it seems difficult to integrate with lead pages.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, What I would like to say is that if you're just starting out with UpViral, why don't you just start with UpViral hosted pages and not try to do integrations? I love the integrations.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Widgets work really well. But what I'm
really surprised though that it's not integrating with lead pages, because I used to use lead pages aggressively. So if you're having a challenge with it, I can understand. I can see exactly where Mitch is coming from. But if you are a lead pages user, I can understand why you want to use lead pages, because you have just got total control over what you're doing. And if you want to do that. So who was that? Who
Collins.
Colin.
Collins with an S.
Oh, okay. I'd like to find. I'm going to look into that. I'm actually going to wire up something tomorrow. Oh, I don't have a lead pages. We've got a lead pages account somewhere. We'll have a lead pages account. So I'm going to have a play in that tomorrow and come back to you on it. Actually, so
it's great. But
Mitch is right. You know, if it isn't playing, we've got our own pages that we can use.
And they work really well, by the way, because as I have said before, the vast majority of the campaigns that I have done, and we've talked about a lot of campaigns that I've done, have been internal UpViral lead pages or landing pages.
I believe you very rarely use widgets yourself, do you?
That's correct. And one of the reasons, let me give you an example, is I was working with a client 2 weeks ago using WordPress, which I had not really done a lot of work with. I know your opinion about WordPress.
No, it's not my opinion about WordPress. It's the problem is WordPress is a great platform, but if you buy a theme from something like Theme Forest or these type of themes and you put it in, it looks great. And I've used WordPress for probably longer than anyone on here. And I can tell you now, you buy a theme for $50, you put it in, you're like, wow. Then you try and make the damn thing work, and it's like, it goes to hell. Really does go to hell.
If I could add one more thing to the beginning of the show, because I've just gotten a question to me privately. Try not to do private messages to me, not because I don't like being private, but then Mark can't see the question.
Yeah.
So it would help if you would here's another one, Anna. All right, try not to send them privately. I want Mark to be able to look at these.
Well, I can actually see them because I've got a hack in here, so I can see them. They're not private. I can see them. So
really, I didn't know
if you
that.
say it to Mitch, I see it, guys. I see.
Now I'm nervous. All right.
I see all.
So, because we do want to answer questions that people are coming in live.
Sure. Well, let's go with some of these questions now.
Let me finish the one previous question just really quickly. Okay. If you're having trouble with ClickFunnels, WordPress, lead pages, take a time out, bail out from that, create a new campaign, create it as an UpViral landing page, and you'll see how easy it is to create. And they look great. So if you're having trouble, if you're stuck, don't let that stop you, is my point. Don't let it stop you and you go,
Richard,
I hate this.
Richard on here makes a very good point, and he's right. WordPress, don't use a theme, use a page builder like Eliminator in a combination. Or, for example, I use Xtheme. I would not touch Eliminator, to be quite honest, because I believe Eliminator was causing the problem.
Yes, it was. It was exactly the problem that we were having was inside of that particular page builder. So
I would recommend Xtheme. Although it calls itself a theme, it's not really a theme, it's a page builder, and we actually use it ourselves. So if it works, that's the one I would go with.
Okay? And guess what, Mark?
We don't get any dollars from saying that.
I know we don't, but I use Xtheme as well. So
there you go.
All of my websites are built on Xthemes. I think I own like 5 different licenses because I love it. All right.
Marcy says hosting land. Oh God, put my teeth in. Hosting landing pages at UpViral are not as great, as is difficult to have a proper eye-catching image. In other words, the editor isn't very good. Okay, I see exactly where you're coming from, but There is something coming pretty soon. Well, enough on that, but take you on that.
Well, may I say something on that? Because I have this discussion all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a lot of stuff inside the existing UpViral templates. I have shown time and time again that you can add catching images. You can do great long form sales pages. You can do all kinds of stuff. You just have to spend a little bit of time learning how the templates work.
What we've got to remember is when you showed yours, because Marcy may not have seen some of your examples, you can see them in the Facebook group and other Copilot shows. They look awful. Mitch's stuff, it is not. You would look at it and say, there's not been an investment of a designer in there. Some of the imagery is great, but what other people have set up, and you always have to remember this. If your campaign is kick-ass, if you have wired it up right and you've got a good proposition, a good product, the machine behind it doesn't really matter how it looks. As long as it doesn't look really awful. I've seen for example, Bunky Life. That didn't rock it.
Yes.
Some of your best campaigns that you showed a couple of weeks ago don't look $1 million. It doesn't look like a designer has done it. It really doesn't matter. You can and here's something else. You can spend days, weeks making something look really cool and sexy. That does not mean to say it is going to work. In fact, some of the most successful campaigns I have ever seen, even funnels, nothing to do with UpViral, don't look $1 million. It's what is on the page that really counts.
And I'll back that up if I can. One of the most awesome campaigns that UpViral has highlighted, and I don't think there's any screen grabs there, but somebody who got 230,000 leads. I told him at the time, I said, I don't think that's a very attractive page. It was just really freaking basic. Here's the offer, sign up. Got 230,000 leads. So it's not always about how pretty the page looks. It's about the offer, which is what Mark just said. I want to stop one more thing. I'm going to go back and watch the replay because I think you said Mitch's pages look awful. Is that what you
they do?
Really said?
They're absolutely awful. They look. I mean, some of them are. I mean, the jewelry one is.
That was the user's image.
I know,
not mine.
But I'm getting a point across that, they don't have to look slick. They can look cool.
Okay, Mark.
Gina asks, I bought the system weeks ago. I believe she's referring to UpViral. And just on day 8, will this work without all you're talking about? Or can you tell us what other programs we need to make this platform successful? I think she means, I bought this system weeks ago and just on day 8, will this work without all you're talking about?
So
can you tell us what
I understand what she's asking. And in fact, one of the other questions that came up in the spreadsheet that we get from people registering was exactly the same. What kind of other tools do I need? Do I need lead pages? Do I need an autoresponder? Do I need ClickFunnels? Do I need this and bliss and bliss? And that's kind of what the question is. And the answer is, like Mark says, no. You can build an entire campaign with just UpViral. You don't even have to have an autoresponder, although I would advise most people to do that.
Yeah, I would say if you're gonna get as big a bang of buck out of it, I would strap an autoresponder to it if I was you.
Right, because you want to send emails to these people after the campaign is over, right? That's its function.
Yeah, and there's plenty of autoresponders out there that we integrate with, like MailChimp, where you can get free accounts to get yourself going, so you don't have to, spend lots and lots of money. But you don't need lead pages, you don't need ClickFunnels. These sort of things you can add on as you want later, but you don't need. In fact, Mitch. I don't even think if he has an account, none of his campaigns use those things. I think the only thing that Mitch has strapped to his UpViral account is an autoresponder, and that's it.
That is true for the vast majority. I do have Converttree, which is another page builder, as a place to go test widget stuff.
Yeah.
And that's all I use it for. Call has a good question.
Go on.
Do you see it?
I do.
I am doing some testing before I launch a contest, so I need a simple sign-up page and thank you page. Part of the question I'm curious about is, that is the process, a simple landing page and a sharing page, so a thank you page. But absolutely, you want to test. This is one of the biggest failures that people come hire me for. That's okay if you want to keep doing it. But people don't always do the tests that they need to do. You need to go through the landing page and sign up. You need to take that sharing URL and open a different browser and an incognito window and do the testing of what it's like to have somebody come in. Are the points accumulating properly? Are people getting the right credit for the referrals, etc.? Spend a ton of time testing. UpViral works great, but you have to ensure that you've got all the pieces inside of UpViral working the way you want them to.
Yeah. Test. I mean, I test any campaign I ever do. I always put me through it and see what the user is going to be experiencing.
I'm going to extend one more thing because this came up several times this week in the UpViral group itself. So come in and ask questions there. That's a great place to do it. Again, if you have a support problem, email support.
Maria, sorry.
I'm sorry. So in terms of testing, if you don't know what an incognito page is, so a couple of people came to me with, hey, I'm on my landing page and I'm using a widget and I've tested it once. And so I got to the share page, the second page of the process. And now when I come back in, all I see is the sharing widget. Is that what the users are going to see? On the landing page, what they're defining as the landing page, they see the sharing widget. The reason for that is UpViral is using cookies to decide which side of the widget is shown to people as they come in. The simple answer is to open everything when you're doing testing in an incognito window, whether you're using Chrome or Firefox or Safari, because that will eliminate all the cookies that are, you may already have used. You're
getting technical.
It is technical, but if people, I have seen this time and time again, Mark, if they don't understand to go into an incognito window so their cookies are not there, they don't understand how the process works.
What Mitch is saying, when you are logged in, if you ever do a test, go using incognito. It's an easy thing to do. If you don't know how to find it, Google it. They'll show you how to do it, but do it incognito. Otherwise, you're experiencing it as the campaign creator, not as the member of the public. Now, I've got some things I want to just quickly shoot through. Paul Hagen says, when selling using leaflets through letterboxes, we found that the fancy leaflets were less successful than simple ones. Having come from the advertising world, and I have produced hundreds of thousands of leaflets, and I've delivered millions of them, sometimes by hand myself. I can vouch for exactly what you say there, Paul. Sometimes the fancy ones just don't work. Rubin says, what are the key factors in an UpViral campaign that helps people spread their, in other words, get referrals? That's a good question.
It is a good question.
That's to you, Mitch. Stopwatch, go. TikTok.
Number one is the offer, right? Number two is you got to recognize that the vast majority of people don't want to share. They want to be the only person in a campaign, especially if there's a big prize. They don't want to tell their friends. So what you have to do is to do things.
Hang on, you have to explain why. The reason they don't want to share with their friends is because if they invite more people in, their perception is, I'll have less chance of winning. So I want to bring some in, but I'll bring the minimum. That's the reason. That's the psychology there.
Yes. Everybody wants to be the only one to have the opportunity to win. So sharing isn't by their nature something they want to do. So you have to encourage with points. You have to potentially offer UpViral rewards, which is a great part of the process. Say if they bring 1, 2, or 3 friends in, then they will get XYZ. Make it inexpensive for you to deliver. Don't make it an expensive thing, especially electronic things are really good. But the other thing is that we've mentioned this many times before is the 3 prize strategy. Grand prize being a random draw. The second prize being somebody that has the most points. And the third prize being, hey, if your friend won either the random draw or the most points, whichever way you want to set it up. But if your friend wins, you win too. So you get the same prize if somebody else that you brought into the campaign wins.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the main one. I mean, if you're running a competition, if you have that, because that effect is, well, if your friend wins, you win. You go, oh, hang on a minute. I want everyone in. Because psychologically, we all know when we enter a competition, I'm not really going to win this. So we use that as a psychological lever to say, hey, listen, you know you're not going to win. So what? The more people you bring in, if you've got 50% of the people in the room, you stand a chance of really winning a prize, because if they win, you win. Sally's asks, a few people have asked this, which autoresponders would you recommend, Mitch? Just give us 2.
Loaded question. MailChimp, an active campaign.
Cool. There you go. Well, let's have a look. What else we got. Can the testing be done offline? You don't necessarily want to share a test app. We're going to be talking about that in a future show. So, but that was by Pat. I can't tell you much more than that. How much? Gina asks a very strange question. How much is your service? Mitch, do you want to show our pricing page? Share it on the screen, please, with people.
Let's see.
Ryan says, understand that, great stuff. Also, something which will kick off. I don't know what that is. Okay. You there, Mitch, still? Are you going to share your page?
I'm still here, yes.
Go to UpViral.com pricing.
I'm doing it differently than I normally do, so hold on 1 second. Share screen.
Cool. Let me get out of the way. 1 second. I'll make you full screen. There you are. And I can't remember who asked the question, but there you go. It's $39 to start. We have the business plan at $59 per month and premium. My suggestion, depending where you are, you either go for the starter or the business. And you can see if you go to upviral.com/pricing, if you can take that link and shoot it into the chat for me, please, Mitch, that would be super cool.
Well, how about I just put it in for everybody?
That's what I mean. Yeah, for everyone. Radio.
Uh-oh. Now I'm showing the entire screen to the whole world.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing there. Can you do a giveaway for us, please, so I can subscribe? Okay. Gina says, yeah, okay, so we've answered any other questions that you want to hit as I go through the list?
Well, the one from Dejan.
Go on.
How do I track custom actions? I saw Wilco's video where he edits the URL, but I don't see how that is connected to the custom action.
Okay, do you want to go with that?
Custom actions, the easiest way to see that data is in the export. And most people probably don't go diving in there. I spend a lot of time in the export sometimes because there's a lot of really good data in there. But if you do the export and you want to see what people are doing to answer, then sort it by that particular column, which has the answers included in it. Now, you can go into UpViral and look at the leads tab and see individuals. So you could click on Betty Lou, who's registered, and see what answers she has given to questions. But if you want to see all of them, the only really easy way, and I caveat that because most people aren't looking at exports in their spreadsheet program, but that's where you can see all the answers and see what's coming in.
Cool. Would you like to carry out the registration process in our okay, well, I don't know what that's all about. Deborah, I heard you say Eliminator doesn't integrate well with UpViral. It's not that it doesn't integrate, it's the way that the developers code these things. It's not just Eliminator, it's themes in general. Some developers are really good at updating their themes and keeping things in order. It's just that some of these themes are really, the developers can make a lot of money out of it, and they don't necessarily always write their code. It can be really cumbersome sometimes. So if you have a challenge like that, that's why I would suggest you just use the UpViral pages. It'd be a lot easier if that was for Deborah. And if you are looking for a page builder, I highly recommend Xtheme. I've used it for years. We actually use it ourselves, and I know Mitch uses it. So I'm building a package of done-for-you services for a specific niche. It's a high niche. It's a high-ticket offer. This is from Mike, by the way. I'll just add it as a question so you can see it. And my question is, would you ever want to give away the actual product as the prize? My concern is the users won't want to share it because there are competitors with each other. Oh, I see what you mean. It is a good question, actually.
So I have seen campaigns where somebody says they have a $497 software widget thing that they really want to sell, and they set that up as the offer, and then they see their sales decrease during the month they're running a campaign. My suggestion in that case, and it kind of works both ways. Some people might be really excited about that, but on the offer, tell them if they already own it or if they buy during the process. Maybe you give them a discount for purchase, right? But tell them if they buy it and they're the winner, then you're going to double the offer. Give them something incredibly cool, which incentivizes them to say, well, all right, I know I'm not going to win. Like Mark said earlier, I'm really likely not to win. But if I buy the thing and I'm the winner, now I'm going to get double the thing, or the thing plus this, and this that nobody else is getting. Make it exclusive, make it fun.
Well, the other thing also is, although this is a specific niche, and they will be sharing with their friends, what you've got to remember is when they share themselves, they're probably not going to be sharing with their competitors. They're going to be sharing with other business owners. So when you're doing a B2B like this is, and it's the actual it's not like, well, I want that, but I'm not going to share it with my friend who runs a bed and breakfast, or because although it's in a specific niche, it might have some sort of traction to other people not in that niche. So it helps you break out of that niche to some degree, because it's like, I've got friends in business, all sorts of friends, but I've got very few friends that have exactly the same business as what I ever had. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. And the other thing also is that if you are running a campaign, it may not be that the campaign you run is the product. What you could run is a lead magnet product to do with the niche on something that will take some pain point away from them, and use that as a lead capture and a lead magnet to then promote the product to those people. I found that those type of competitions and those giveaways work better rather than giving and offering the product, because at the end of the day, really, I want to sell the product. I don't want to give the product away. So I would probably might look at, from a B2B point of view, some sort of a lead magnet thing to start off with. And then, if you get 10 people in, you get this. If you get 5 more people, you get another lead magnet or whatever it is, or access to something or other, but not the main product. That's my own thought on that. Hope that helped, Mike. Anything else, Mitch, that's caught your eye?
I'm going to, Call has asked a follow-up to the one that I mentioned before. And what he says is, I meant a live test to test the lead magnet or offer, etc. Can I skip the sharing stuff?
Right.
And realistically, no. If you're only wanting to test the offer and not to see about the sharing stuff, I guess you can use UpViral. You could, as a widget, right, have a landing page and then have a thank you page, and not put the sharing widget on the thank you page if you really want to. I've never really seen anybody try to do the test of the offer without the sharing part, but I think that would work.
I don't know why. I don't know why you would do that. Probably need more context, to be honest, because you're missing the viral aspect.
Exactly. Yeah,
we may be reading it wrong.
Again.
Again. Anything else, Mitch, that catches your eye?
There's several more questions listed. I'm just kind of going through them.
Oh, Daniel, this is interesting. My opt-in page offers an audio file as a reward. The share page promotes sharing to others, but my lead hasn't really experienced the audio file yet. How do you address that on the sharing page if sharing would be better to ask after they have experienced the reward? This could be, do you know Gabriel
Schillinger?
He had the reward on the share page.
He had the offer.
Not the offer. No. Once you've got the offer, once you took the initial lead magnet and went to the share, whatever was on there, it was on the page. So you could, and in this case, it was an audio file.
Yes.
It was a track. So the process was enter this competition, and when you enter it, you'll get 10 points and immediately get access to this free audio file.
Yes.
They then went to the share page, and the reward was there to immediately download. So yes, possibly that, Daniel, is how I would do it. I may be misunderstanding you a little bit, but my suggestion is if you log into your UpViral dashboard, go to the Learning Center, you'll see it at the top. And then on the left-hand side, look for Daniel
Schillinger.
He's near the bottom. Watch the case study. There's 2 videos in there. There's one with the first one is an interview with Wilco and Daniel, and the second one is a teardown. I highly recommend not only Daniel you watch that, but everyone goes and watches that case study.
Yes.
Because that is a blueprint for how you should start small and get bigger and bigger when you run a campaign. Because I think this is his 4th campaign he's done.
Yes.
He did, I can't remember how many thousands of people opted in, but 40, it was a lot. 40,000, and he did nearly 200,000 in sales over a 7-day period.
Correct. Now, one tiny little add to this, Daniel, if you're offering an audio file as a reward, and let's say it's a 10-minute thing, I don't know, why not just put a 15-second clip on the landing page and say, here's a sample of what you will get. Easy enough to do.
Sally just asked your three price strategy. I think she means prize. I missed one. Could you repeat them again, please? There was the random prize / draw, your friend wins, and the other one was
most points.
Most points. There you go, Sally. Most points win.
The reason you want to do most points, and most people hate most points campaigns, as an end user, right? The people entering your campaign typically don't think they can win the most points. But there is a small group of people that will bust their tails to win that because they think they have a big audience. And that's what you want, is those people working really hard to bring you referrals. And that's why we do that.
Cool. My reward is to give AI. Don't know what's going on here.
Which question are you
on? DAR. I don't know whether that's relevant.
I see one by DAR. Oh, there's two of them.
Is there?
My reward is an AI scheduler bot to doctors for their website. So that's like setting up appointments for people who come see the doctor. If they're watching webinars selling my CRM, they want to, it's possible how they can watch prior to getting the free bot. You can always do, and we talked about this last week in the show that I did without Mark, was 7 different ways of using UpViral. And one of them is a webinar, which is, I think, kind of what you're talking about doing, Dar, is to get people to a webinar. You incentivize them to share by offering a reward, right? You get them to, if they get 3 friends to join, then you're going to give them this free thing. But you do it as a webinar, and UpViral has several themes that you can use, templates for setting up a webinar. Absolutely do that. Is there something you could offer them other than the free bot so that they get that before they get the free bot? I don't know. It all depends, but absolutely you can use that. And even if you're not doing a webinar, but maybe you're doing an event, a live Facebook thing or whatever, that's a great set of tools to be able to incentivize people to bring other people to your campaign.
Yeah, without a doubt. Anything else that's caught your eye here?
There's lots of kind of questions. I'm going to use UpViral on e-commerce thank you page. Absolutely. Peter, we talked about that as well last week. As a store, being able to offer a campaign as part of the process.
Did you last week talk about how to use UpViral as a loyalty machine?
What? You mean you didn't watch the replay? Oh my God.
Of course not. I wasn't in it.
Yes, we did talk about using it as a referral.
No, not referral. Loyalty.
Okay, I did not use the word loyalty. But I can see that you're qualifying. There's a difference between a reward or a referral program, and a loyalty. The loyalty tends to imply, however, that people are buying something, doesn't it? I mean, no? Okay. How about you define it for me in your that
was it. I just wondered, you've answered it. And because of the answer, I think in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to do a show showing you how to use UpViral as a loyalty machine.
I love to learn, Mark. I love to learn, and I love seeing how different people are using UpViral, because I'm sorry, I haven't ever thought of all the possible uses for UpViral.
Well, the reason why this came about is we were brainstorming how to get people quick results. Apart from the usual stuff, but how can we get something quick where someone joins and gets traction? And I went away and did some research, and the loyalty program came about. There are some restrictions. As always, I wanted everything there and then, but I was able to actually put together on paper. I do a lot of this on paper. I'll show you. I've got it here. Look at all this.
Nice.
Okay, Tabarama. The green is a go. The blue, the yellow is on hold. I'm going to think about it. The blue is I'm going to come back to that next month, and the red is that ain't going to happen in a month of Sundays.
So that's where all of my things are, is on the red.
No. There is nothing in here. You look. There is stuff in here. I kid you not.
Freeze frame.
No. There is stuff inside here that if I was to let you read through this, and that's, by the way, that is 1 week.
Wowzers.
Wowzers.
Maria, are you done with that question?
Yes.
because I know we got a special guest hopefully coming this hour, right?
Yeah,
Maria asks, how do I make best use of UpViral when I need to sell a book about saving money? I can't afford to buy prizes. I have a hard time coming up with freebie without giving away the content of the book. Do you have any suggestions on how to handle it?
Give them a chapter. Give them like Amazon does. When you see a book, it gives you the first chapter or something. Give them the first chapter free.
Upsell that to, or not upsell, but offer a reward. You'll read.
Or what you could do. This is just thinking. Get one per. Join. Get the first chapter. Get 3 people. Get the second chapter. Get 5 people. Get the third chapter. Use it literally, and then sell the other book that you've got. I don't know. There's a ton of things that you could do with it, I suppose.
Another idea would be signed versions of the book, right?
Yeah.
People love signed stuff. Maybe a 30-minute one-on-one session with you to talk about how to save money.
What's the book about? How to save money?
Saving money, business to consumer.
Yeah. Also, do what's the word I'm looking for? A lead magnet on 5 things that you can do today to save you $100 a month. Now, I just thought of the headline. I don't know whether you can do it, but if you can think of a headline and say things like 5 things, get this now, join our competition to win this book. But if you join now, get 5 things that you can action in 5 hours to save you $100 this month. I tend to write the headline and then think, how can I produce something like that?
Another quickie would be for a group call to say, you're going to, talk about chapter 4 to a group of people who get 5 people to register.
Yeah,
whatever.
Do it on Zoom. There's a ton of stuff, Marie, that you could actually do. Everyone wants to save money.
Great question.
But actionize it. It was. I got quite excited about that.
Yeah, you did.
I did. I always do.
Sophie asks, my offer was going to be an e-recipe book with loads of images. The file's bigger than 10 megabytes. So UpViral will let you have a download. So when they earn a reward, they can download the file. UpViral's limit is 5 megabytes. How to get around that? Just put it on one of those free sharing services where you can have people download files.
Dropbox, Google Drive,
right? All those kind of things, and just give them a link to that file. So
or split it in half and have the reward for the first bit and the reward for the second bit. There's a million. Hello, who's this coming in?
Somebody's coming in.
Who that there? Hey.
Oh my God! It's the master.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey buddy, how you doing?
Doing good. How is everyone in the chat going on?
They're loving it.
Some people have just left as soon as you joined, so that says it all.
You know what? That's the story of my life. It's not fun of making fun of that. I'm surprised
10 people have just left. I know. If I leave, everyone will go.
Oh.
Hey, Peter. Hey, Pat. Hey, Daniel. Hey, John. Awesome to see you all here. Sophie, Mike in the house. Welcome.
So, Wilco. What's this? Look at this. Hello. Look at this, everyone. How to keep everyone in there. They were all going to go, and then all of a sudden, bang. So, Wilco, do you want to? I know your time is precious. You've got a call coming up pretty soon. Do you want to explain why you're here?
Explain why we're here. Yes. Well, like some of you, if you've been part of the UpViral Facebook group, you've probably seen some nuggets. If you're not part of the Facebook group, you totally should. Like if you search for Viral on Facebook, you'll find it. But we've been at UpViral for quite a while now, right? We started almost 5 years ago, and we've been working and growing, and we've been adding. And Well, tomorrow we're going to do a massive release. Like over the last year, the team has done a phenomenal job. We've been hiring more people. We've been adding a new team to work on what I call a secret project. Like we've been working on a robot. Like we actually have 2 secret projects, one of which is going to be revealed tomorrow. I would say, like there's the other one. I would love to share both of them, but I'm going to share just one. The other one will follow later.
Careful.
I'll talk about that later. But we've been like I can share it. Like I've been working on the presentation to share. Like this is it, the future of UpViral. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. I've got a bunch of slides which I'm not actually going to show you yet. I'm actually going to reveal in my UpViral account what is going to be new tomorrow. And whatever I'm going to reveal tomorrow may or may not be in your UpViral account tomorrow. It will be in your account tomorrow. But you definitely got to join me. Like I'll start tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. That's where I'll present everything. That's the same time as today's co-pilot show started. And I'll be in the studio. We got it all prepared, and it's going to be fun. Plus, I don't have it here, but if you want to have a viral T-shirt, I'll be giving away some of those as well. Too,
we need to get one of those T-shirts. We need to get a T-shirt camera.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be awesome, actually.
That would be awesome. T-shirt camera. Here you go.
Yes,
it's on its way.
But hey, like there's multiple things going to happen. First of all, most importantly, you're going to share what we have in store tomorrow. Secondly, if you take a step back and look at what we've been doing in the Facebook group and what we're sending out via email, what we're doing here, there's a good marketing lesson there as well. So like for those who want to pay attention, there's something to learn there as well. It's I learned from Apple. Like Apple does the best way. They've been doing teases like that all day long. Makes me think.
Yesterday the WWWDCC, whatever the heck it is that they call that thing, they did the virtual one for the first time, and I was watching some of the highlights of it, and I'm going, doing that. Tim Cook, you're learning from what.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing I'm probably not doing is like I should dress up like Steve Jobs, so like black. What is it? Black trousers, like a black shirt and blue. Yeah, exactly. A virtual T-shirt gun. Like in a couple of years, we'll have 3D printers and we'll be able to just print the T-shirt right at your doorstep.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, tomorrow it's going to be a special event.
And if you don't know where to show up, again, on the in the Facebook group of UpViral, or you can just go to our Facebook page of UpViral. It's there as well. Or if you follow me on YouTube, I'll do the live stream there as well. If you search for Wilco de Kraai on YouTube, you find our channel. So all these places will be going live at the same time.
I think it's we're streaming it into the Facebook group, the Facebook page, and also YouTube. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually 2 Facebook pages, the Wilco de Kraai page and the UpViral page. So if you search for Wilco de Kraai or UpViral, you will find it.
You'll find it. Yeah. Well, look, thanks for your time, Wilco. Is that there are questions inside here. Mitch will deal with those. I know you've got a call scheduled very shortly. So unless there's anything else to say.
No, I'm just excited. Like it's always fun to be live with everyone. Unfortunately, like I said, I have got to call in a little bit, but I just wanted to say, like, super awesome for you. Like I see right now, 88 people are here, which is awesome, and like you're learning from the best. I mean, Mitch has done some phenomenal things with UpViral. Like if anyone asks me, hey, do you know an expert? Like Mark, you as well. Like
no.
But if anyone asks me,
Mitch is okay.
Who would you go to? It is Mitch. And that's why he's here on the call with all of you. So don't sit here and think like, oh well, it's kind of nice. No, like make sure to take notes because he's actually a genius. So pay attention to what
the funny thing is, our support team sometimes goes to Mitch and asks, "How would you do this, Mitch?"
That's what happens if you're a genius. So
yeah,
pay attention to Mitch. Pay attention. He's a smart guy. All right. Well, you guys enjoy the rest of the show, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye, everyone.
No worries. You guys all stay there. This is going to carry on for a few more minutes. So thanks a lot, Wilco.
No worries.
And I'll catch you later, buddy. I've left some messages for you. I'll catch you later.
Cheers.
See you now. Bye-bye.
Oh, Mark, such excitement.
There we go. We're back.
Just so you know, I posted the link to the Gabe Schillinger case study in there.
Excellent.
I know there's one question that you wanted to get to that was asked in the thing.
In the thing, I've got the thing, the thingamajig, the what's you call it.
Stoyan asked this question. I know ClickFunnels has a 2 Comma Club award for those who've reached 1 million in sales.
Oh yeah. Read it out.
Creating an award for the best UpViral users, for example, a referral master award, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We have, in fact, I'm just going to go over to my other
kind of a
and I am just opening it up, and I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at the new designs for the awards for UpViral. We're going to be setting it. I'm looking at it right now. God, that looks really cool.
Yeah, I bet it does.
That looks really cool. I won't share it with you just yet because it's part of the stuff that we're going to be doing. I even know who's winning the first one. I even know who's winning the first one. But it's going to be pretty special. It's not just an award. There is an award that comes, but there are other things that come with it as well. I think over the next couple of weeks, well, it's going to be exposed this month. That is definite. We might do it tomorrow. It all depends what Wilco puts in his slide stack. So, but it looks really cool. It looks really, and there's not just one. We've actually got 3 layers, 3 levels of it, but also micro levels as well, where people can get rewarded on even just getting like 10 leads or 50 leads, micro pushes to encourage people to reward their efforts. So yeah.
Holy cow, you mean actually gamifying the process of
Yeah. We do listen. We do listen to these things. Okay.
How do you find out? I'm going to go on with questions. Is that right?
Sure.
How do you find out how many leads are brought in by each participant in an organized form, not by researching each lead? Is it possible to set up rewards for the certain amount of referred leads, but not by points? So I've asked for this before.
I'm just trying to interpret it into Mitch language.
The question is, can I set up a reward for somebody getting X number of referrals instead of counting it by points, where we have to take points?
This is something we are working on. Now, whether that's something to do with tomorrow or sometime later in the month or next month or something, I can't possibly comment on that. But it is something that we have had cooking away in the background for quite a while. And there is some stuff that we are cooking away, which actually will make that sort of thing so easy to. I've got to be careful what I say here. I've got to pick my word.
Because I'll pick on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be so easy to set up. The brief was, we want to do X and Y and Z and A and B. We want, this complicated thing. But I need my brand to be able to it. That was the brief. And what I can tell you is that the product manager came back with the UX designer, and after about 2 or 3 bashes at it, we were looking at some of this, and it's like, that is so simple. My grandmother could actually do that.
Nice.
I don't want to go too deep into it, but it is really, really exciting.
Woohoo! Dara says, this is my first time on the show. Y'all are entertaining. Have you thought about doing this as a regular show? Yeah, that's why
it is regular. We do it every Tuesday. Who was it that said it? We do it every Tuesday, the same time. We're always here. Not always the 2 of us. Mitch is at last week. I wasn't here. I was too great for last week.
Sarcastic, Mark. Somebody else also said, by the way, a great idea for Maria would be a checklist or a workbook. I like those. Yeah. Don't forget those. Those are valuable lead magnets. And a couple of people always ask, where do I see previous shows? They are in the UpViral group. in the unit section.
They're also, I believe, on the Facebook channel, the YouTube channel. I believe our content manager is now feeding them into YouTube as well.
Super.
I think I'll have to check that.
I did not know that.
No, neither did I. I only found out a couple of days ago. We'd set up the process for her to do it, but she seems to have. I'll do it anyway. So at the moment, this is just built in with it without here. We're using Webinar Jam to do this. There is a possibility that we will go onto a different platform so it streams live as well in Facebook, in the group. We always look at this, the best way to do these things. But
Daniel asks, can you set up UpViral to do the opt-in page 1 with video like the Jeff Walker launch formula stuff? The answer is yes, Daniel. Go back and watch last week's show. Towards the end of the show, I specifically showed you how to do that. Not actually inside of UpViral, but I showed the page, process flow for doing that, where you get them to sign in, you get them on the second page, you show them a video, and you incentivize them with the UpViral widget to say, hey, share this with your friends, and we're going to give you this bonus. But this is only exclusively for people who get friends to sign up, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I showed you how to do that last week.
Mary Lee says, the main viral page, not the challenge. I don't know what that
She's talking about the viral hacking challenge. She's in the viral hacking challenge.
Okay.
So, no, it's in the main UpViral group.
Cool.
What is the best way? I'm sorry, Joel's question. What is the best way to add people after a purchase? There are. It gets really complicated. If you're an advanced person with a lot of usage of landing pages.
No. I get this. I think I know what Joel's going on about. So, for example, I think this is it. I purchased something. I now want to incentivize them to share that purchase with their friends. Hey, I've just bought this. Yes, you could do this, Joel. You'd use a widget to do it. So, for example, you'd put the widget on the order confirmation or the thank you page. So, and obviously, I don't know how you'd set it up. You could do it for each product, but you'd have to sort of like use it, make it vanilla. Hey, thanks for making the purchase. If you want to get a 10% discount, click here. On your, you could put it on that thank you page. And then when they put an email address in, they would get the 10%. And then you could say, hey, and this is also down to the loyalty aspect of it. Hey, now that you're in here, you've got 10%. If you get 5 of your friends, share this with 5 of your friends, or do this, or do this, or do this. For example, go follow me on YouTube. Go follow me on Facebook. Connect on Instagram. Do this. In other words, create so you've got a bigger audience that you can push to. And for each one, it's like 10 points, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. And then they get, instead of the 10%, you give them, if they do all those things, you give them another 10%. So they've got 20% discount. So you could do that, Joel. Hopefully that answered the question, I think.
Great.
If it did, give us a thumbs up and let us know.
From the previous questions in the spreadsheet, Mark, Eni asks, is there a way to use UpViral using someone else's capture page? This is a toughie because what they're doing is they're sending people as an affiliate to an offer. And the question is, can I use UpViral inside that process? The short answer is no. You can't hack somebody else's landing page.
The short answer is no, not
directly
yet.
Oh my, drum roll. See, I am giving you such softballs, Mark. These questions are, I have no idea what you guys are working on because you won't tell me, but that's okay. I understand.
Not yet, but not how she described it. She's sort of there, but there are things that we are cooking, and so I'll just say no more than that.
Okay, perfect.
Now, bear in mind, we have got 30 seconds left. So I don't think we should answer any more questions. We need to keep to the hour, guys, because otherwise we could be here for 2 hours. Now, I just want to let you know, before you all run away, don't forget tomorrow Wilco's going to be doing a live announcement, same time as this show started. It'll be in the Facebook group, pages, and in YouTube. You'll find the links. They're going to be emailed out. They'll be in the Facebook group. Also, I just want to tell you about next week's co-pilot show. We have, again, next week, a special guest, but they're not there just for a couple of minutes just to say hi. We're actually going to go through, we've got a real special guest. We're going to go through a campaign that has just kicked ass over the last couple of weeks. It has gone awesome. And we were going to be doing a case study, and we are doing a case study, but the case study is next week, and we're going to record it. So next week's show is not just, hey, how we are actually going to go into the guts of it and show you exactly how to copy and see how this guy did what he did. So next week is going to be a super show. We are going to get, there's going to be a lot of people in it. Now, put it in your diaries, because next week is not just a teardown. It is a full case study. We will have a look exactly how this guy's did it, the prizes, the psychology used behind it, the business behind it, and how he sold products and how it paid for itself. I believe he said to me it was paid within, it paid for its whole self. He didn't spend a single dollar on Facebook ads, neither, not $1, and it's paid for itself. It's paid for the prize already.
Right.
Within like a day, it paid for the prize.
Yeah, I've been talking to him too. It's real exciting.
And the cool thing is, he's a real nice guy.
Yeah, he is. Stefano, ask your question in the UpViral group, and I'll answer it today over there.
Cool. In answer to John, the next agency, probably not next week, the week after. I've got some stuff that I want to talk about on that. Peter says, Mark, can you move the loyalty program? Can you move the loyalty program?
He just talked about doing on a loyalty. Okay. He wants it like now.
Yeah, well, we all want things like now.
Yes,
all right then, guys.
Thank
Hope you enjoyed today's show. Thanks very much, Mitch. Thanks very much for everyone joining us, and we'll see you all same time next week. And just for me to say, have a great, depending where you are in the world, have a great morning,
tomorrow,
great afternoon, or great evening. Say again?
Same time tomorrow.
Same time tomorrow. Same time tomorrow.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. See you now. Take care. Bye-bye.